America's online Irish station, radioirish.com. That's what you're listening to. Sean McCarthy here. Delighted to welcome you along to our St. Patrick's show, serving up a feast of brilliant Irish music, chat, and our special St. Patrick's Week interview with Ireland's Queen of Country, County Tyrone music legend Philomena Begley. How are you, Philomena?
How are you doing? I'm very well, Sean. How are you?
I'm grand. Well, it's a great honour to chat with you here, Philomena, just ahead of your April concerts, which we'll talk about in a little while. But I first want to take you back a little to your early days in country music in County Tyrone, where you were born and grew up. Now, your father played accordion, Philomena, and your mother sang, so you grew up around music.
I did indeed. My family, they're all very musical, I have to say. My brothers and sisters, but none of them took it up, professionally. They just sing when they have to, and maybe there was a wee bit of a few beverages on. They'll sing a few songs.
Well, not all families have that, Philomena, so you were fortunate in that respect, weren't you, to grow up around music?
Well, I was indeed, because where I was brought up, my house, my mother and father's house, I call it over here, there's a great Caelan house. People all come in and they would have been singing songs in the house and things like that too, so I was brought up with the music now.
Now, in the late 1960s, while working in Fisher's Hat Factory in Cookstown, you began singing part-time with the Old Cross Ceilidh Band, which, following a spell as the Old Cross Band Show, since it was the show band era in Ireland at the time, later morphed into a country music band called Country Flavour. Now, legend has it, Philomena, that you started singing with the band as a dare. What happened there?
That's right. I went to Kelly one night in the local hall in Pomeroy, and my friends were all with me. And at that time, there was a band that just played Kelly music, so they would always call someone up from the audience. And when I say I was young, I wasn't young at all. But that time, I was just about 19, I suppose. And that time 19 was young. If you know what I mean, it would have been deemed that you were younger really, than because you wouldn't have been allowed to do things then that you'd be allowed to do now. But anyway, I went up and I sang a couple of songs, and the girls that was with me, they dared me to go up, so up I went and sang a couple of songs. And the next day, the lads from the Old Cross Ceilidh Band came and asked me if I would take the stand in for they had a singer at the time, and she took sick, and they asked me if I would stand in for her. This was all new to me, but I went along, and the rest history. I was with them, all 12 years. Well, it was actually the Old Cross, Ceilidh Band, or the Old Cross Band Show was the same band as the Country Flavour. We just changed our name.
Well, now, jobs were scarce at the time, Philomena, and you had one. Surely it took a little courage setting out on a career path in music, especially for a young girl who already had a job. You clearly had the voice, but did you see it as a risk at the time?
Oh, well, it was the last thing that I ever thought of, that. But at that time, the band was very busy, and at that time we used to go to England a lot, especially in Lent, because there was no dances in Ireland and Lent, so we had to go. We had to go to England elsewhere. So we would go over there for a week or 2 weeks. And the first time we went over was a week, and the second time was 2, and then it was 3 weeks. So it was then I thought, well, I'm going to have to do something about this because I wasn't going to get that length of time off my work. I was working in the factory at the time, and so I decided that I would leave. So it took me a long time, to be honest with you now, Sean. It took me a long time to get round to telling my father, asking my father, was it okay for me to do that? Because, this was a steady job that I had, and in them days,
yes,
you didn't do rash things that you would do now.
Right.
But anyway, well, he said that it was okay, and because all the lads that I was working with were mostly local people, and actually one of them was my husband, who I'm married to now. He was in the band, and I would have known him for years, before that. And it was okay. So, but again, and I'm saying that now, what I mean, we were busy at home too, because the country, or the dances scene at that time was very good. There was a lot of dance halls around. Well, there was a dance hall in every town in Ireland, as you know.
Right.
And then there was carnivals, which the marquees, that would be every year, starting from about Easter Sunday till away on to the end of September.
That's right.
And there was a tent on every field in Ireland.
Yes.
At that time, and it went on for 2 weeks at a time, everywhere you played. So we had plenty of work.
There was more of an active social scene at the time in Ireland, wasn't there?
Oh, there was, that's right, there was indeed.
Now, the fourth of 8 children, Philomena, I imagine your family stood behind you on your choice to pursue a music career. Do you think that support, when starting out, for young people to receive the encouragement from their families, is important even to this day, Philomena?
Well, it is to the point, it's good for the full family, but sometimes there can be some, you just want to be, you don't want to be too much on their face either, because I remember whenever I was in the band, my parents were so proud of me and all that, but they never followed me around anywhere, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, I don't think the managers were being too fussed on the parents, cutting their, telling them what to do and all that. Again, like, I suppose if they're younger or whatever. But, you have to have faith in the manager too, or to go out and do what you had to do. But I never had any problems like that. But at the same time, it does, the parents or the family, it's nice to have the family following you. And like my brothers and sisters, they would have come out to the dances and not there. But, they wouldn't never been in your face, if you know what I mean.
Right. Well, success came knocking in 1971, Philomena, when Country Flavour ascended in the Irish top 10, reaching number 7 with the song Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, to be followed by the song Never Again at number 15, Ramblin' Man at number 9, and Light in the Window at number 7. So a string of hits, Philomena. Then in May of 1973, you teamed up with Ray Lynham for the song You're the One I Can't Live Without, which shot to number 5 in the Irish charts. Indeed, you also met your husband Tom Quinn, himself the keyboard player of Country Flavour, with whom you had 3 children, Mary, Aidan and Carol. Then in 1974 you signed to Top Rank organisation under Tony Lockman, with your husband Tom and the late guitarist and vocalist Dan O'Hara being the only 2 original members of Country Flavour to go on with you to form the Ramblin' Men. How did that whole change occur, Philomena, to forming the Ramblin' Men from Country Flavour? Was it an easy transition, so to speak?
Oh no, it was a very hard transition, I have to say. We got married on that same year, 1974. We started Tony Lockman. We were doing a concert one night in Irvinstown, and Enniskillen, and then Tony came up. He had this idea in his head, we used to do that thing with him. I would used to do that concert for Tony on my own, and he came up with this big idea that he wanted really for me to. He wanted to form a super band for me to be in this super band. He was going to get other singers maybe to come in and musicians and that. And he came up to my home, myself and Tom were married. And we discussed it, and Tom said to him, why don't you put a band around Philly, well, they called me Philly, put a band around Philly and ourselves. And Tony thought this was a great idea, and away he went home, him himself and his wife, and they came back that evening again, and they just, with a poster that he had printed out, handmade, and he had Philomena Begley and the Ramblin' Men. And that's how it all started, and we started with the Ramblin' Men, as I say, in 1974, and it just went from strength to strength. In fact, to be honest with you, I thought, the first night that we played, it was the beginning and the end. But before that, I have to say now, it was a sad parting because it took an awful lot for us to say to go our separate ways. But it just was the right time and it worked out great for us. And the first night that we were actually playing with the Ramblin' Men, we were playing in the Four Seasons Hotel in Monaghan. And I was actually doing Wembley that same day with Ray Lennon over at Easter Sunday, the 11th of May it was. And when we came home, we came back that night, and when we got to the hotel, the guards were standing at the road and they wouldn't let any more traffic up. The place was jammed. I think there was about nearly 4,000 people in.
My goodness. Now, the billing was Philomena Begley and her Ramblin' Men. Talk to me a little about your early days touring with the Ramblin' Men, Philomena. You must have learned quite a lot about the craft of touring, because that whole side of performing, the travel, the setting up, the show itself, the breaking down of equipment and all, seems to me to have been a bit of a group effort in those days, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was definitely a group effort. I even carried in gear myself. But again, saying that, I think it's up to yourself really how you handle the situation. I kind of took it in my stride. I didn't really, it was a job to me, and it was more than a job. I loved it. I loved what I was doing, and it didn't really bother me what went on. You never really thought about it, what you were doing, and there was no, I just became one of the lads in the band, and that was it.
Well, the Ramblin' Men went on to record and release hit after hit, including your 1975 recording of Blanket on the Ground, written by Roger Bowling, and earlier that year recorded and released by Texas-born Billie Jo Spears, which brought you both an enormous measure of success in your own rights. For Billie Jo, the song reached number 1 on the Billboard magazine's Hot Country Singles chart, number 78 on the Top 100 pop charts, and reaching number 6 on the UK pop charts, while your own smash hit, which remained for 5 weeks in the charts, actually went higher to number 5. Would you say this was your original bond with Billie Jo, Philomena, this unique song? Because
it would have been, because I wasn't really knowing who Billie Jo was at all until the Blanket. We were actually coming home from one of our dances one night, and heard the song on an American Forces program. There used to be a big country show on the way back, and then that's probably where I would have heard my country music, most of it. And it was an American Forces network that the show was on, and this girl was singing the song, and gosh, I just thought this was just me all over. So Tony Lackman got on till the spread in America when he went home that night, got it back over here quickly, and I went in, recorded it, and actually I recorded it and then went to play that night. And it just went from there, and it was, still to this day now, it would still be very big. But the same year, I was doing a concert a festival over in England, and Billie Jo was on it. And Billie Jo, not her, but what she said to me, I don't think I could repeat it on the air now. It wasn't really bad, but it was just, she said, she says, were you the bitch that stole my song? And I said, that was me. So that's how then we got a great relationship, but I hadn't seen her for years until she came over to Ireland to do a tour, and it was called the Queens of Country, and there was Lynn Anderson and herself, and a few other Irish acts. And she came over, and we became great friends. So I toured with her about 6 years. After that, every year she came over, we toured, and we did the whole of Ireland. And the final year, 4 years ago, we did a tour of England and Scotland. And we were, both of us, we were very attached to each other, and she would, she was getting, she wasn't feeling too good, and she would kind of stick with me all the time, because she knew I was looking after her more or less. But unfortunately, she said to me the last night we did the show, Billy, she says, I don't think I'll be back. And she died in December that same year.
My goodness.
So it was very sad now, but that's the way it goes.
Well, that was probably a very rewarding experience for her to meet you and to come to Ireland, because Ireland really is at the very root of country music here in America, isn't it?
Oh, God, it is, surely. But again, she was so, she was so generous. She was actually too generous for her own good, because she would, instead of holding on to her money, she would spend it, and, she was taking the bands out for meals and things like that. But she was lovable, she was like wickedly civil too, But, I got to know all her wee good points and her bad points. But she had more good points, but she was fond of the smoke. She smoked cigarettes, you see, and she wouldn't, there's no smoking over here. But she would take, she would still sneak away to get her cigarette. And I would be after her with a towel, trying to get the smoke away from the smoke alarm. She was full of devilment, but she was a lovely person. I met her an awful lot,
Of course. Now, in 1977, Philomena, you came to America, to Boston, New York, Chicago, and the following year, country music legend Porter Wagoner invited you as guest at the Grand Ole Opry, where you received a standing ovation and an encore for your performance of Blanket on the Ground. Indeed, you recorded and toured with fellow country music legend and friend Billie Jo Spears, and for whom, following her passing on the 4th of December 2011, you later recorded the marvellous tribute, Me and Billie Jo. Talk to me about your lovely tribute to Billie Jo Spears, Philomena, the song itself.
Well, I actually didn't write it myself, Sean. There was a good friend of mine, do you know this? I've got a senior moment here now. Shuni Cramps. Shuni wrote the song because Shuni came to see us one night in Derry. And he seen what went on between the two of us, he seen the bond was there. And every week, I would be on the stage with her, and it was more like a comedy show more than anything really, because and he'd seen all the wee things, and he knew that with the two of us, and he went home that night and he wrote the song, and he rang me the next day, and he let me hear, and it was just exactly what I would, if I had was fit to write the song, exactly what I would be. Feel about her,
Right.
And I would then, and I actually recorded the song, and they were having a memorial for her in Nashville after she died, and the song, we sent the song over. I actually wanted to re-record it, but her sons and that, they said no, it was perfect. So they used it for the memorial when they had it. I wasn't able to go over, but I think it was very moving.
Well, it certainly is. You have performed on the world's great stages, Philomena, the Grand Ole Opry, Carnegie Hall, the Royal Albert Hall in London, to mention just a few. What do you feel before walking out on the stage, Philomena? What goes through your mind?
Well, naturally, I would be nervous, but again, in saying that, you kind of I wouldn't dwell too much on it, and where it was, because if I did start to, I would get very nervous. I still would get nervous, surely to God, but it's sort of something that that's what you do, and just go and do it. I wouldn't get myself too how do I explain it? I wouldn't have much faith in myself, if you know what I mean. I don't mean no faith in myself, but if you know what I mean. I wouldn't be that way inclined, all get myself into a tizzy over what I'll be doing. I just go and do it and enjoy it, and that's it. The Royal Albert Hall now was something else. I did actually play there, and I actually did a tour with Dawn Williams in the Royal Albert Hall too.
Now, noted songwriter Shane MacGowan has paid tribute to yourself and Ray Lynham, Philomena, in the Pogue song A Pair of Brown Eyes, when he wrote, "When Ray and Philomena sang of my elusive dream." What did that feel like?
Oh, so that was great. You know where I first heard that? Now, way back a few years ago, I was in Val d'Isère, in France. We were over the skiing holiday, and we were sitting in the bar, and the next thing this song came out, and I heard this song, Ray and Phil, and I couldn't believe it. And my elusive dreams, and I knew it was me me and Ray that were singing about. So I wanted to find out who, because, I didn't really realise it was the Pogues who was singing it. So, but to believe it, I never even met Shane MacGowan, and I never had the time to go to see him, because any time he was around, he was always playing or I was playing somewhere or whatever. But I'm hoping to get to see him live sometime very soon. Because I would like his music too.
Well, you reside on a farm in Galbally, County Tyrone. Your son Aidan Quinn enjoys an established singing and songwriting career in his own right. Indeed, you have recorded and performed with Aidan with your remarkable duet on the Mark Knopfler song All the Road Running, enjoying great success. It's a beautiful recording and video that can be seen and enjoyed on YouTube, and always brings tears to my eyes anytime I see and hear it. Who came up with the video concept, Philomena? And talk to me a bit about the shoot itself, how it came to be, how the production went and so on. Was it fun to do?
It was Aidan, my son, came up with a video. I was listening to the song for a long time, for years actually before, and I would always keep going back to that one particular song. So I said to Aidan one time, I said, do you know something, there's a song we should record. And we just went in and recorded it, and Aidan changed he more or less got the pipes on it, the Aidan pipes. And that was a wee bit different to the one with Mark Knopfler and then Lou. And but the video, we recorded it just in a local pub just across the road here from home in Tally's Bar in Galway. And Aidan, he came up with all the ideas of getting the musicians and just sitting around and having a bit of a sing-song at the fire and a few pints, and that was it. And that's how it came about. Aidan had the good ideas in his head, like that.
Well, it's a remarkable video and it's a beautiful recording. Now, your niece, Andrea Begley, won the BBC TV series The Voice in June 2013. So, as well as Aidan's brilliant music career, there is a new generation proudly carrying forward the Begley family tradition. What does that feel like, Philomena, witnessing Andrea win The Voice?
Oh, sure, it was something. It was absolutely fantastic. I went over to the final, and it was such a shock I personally thought that there's a good possibility that she could win it, but at the same time, you just keeping your fingers crossed. But anyway, whenever when they announced that she had won it, it was unreal. When you were sitting there in the audience and seeing the whole response, and the response she got was unbelievable, because everybody was, they were all cheering for her, and she got an awful lot of nice people that, she befriended a lot of people over there and in England and that, and even whenever I would go to Scotland or anywhere like that, now they were always saying that they're voting for your niece, and it was great. It was great to see her win, and under the circumstances with her sight and all that there, it's just something else.
It's amazing. And here you are, Philomena, full circle in many ways, back with your old recording and singing partner Ray Lynham, as you both set off on a tour titled The Two of Us, which kicks off early April 2016 at Lagan Valley Island in Lisburn. What does it feel like to be singing with Ray after all these years?
Oh, sure, it's great, but I'm still, I haven't really, we would do the odd thing now and again, and I was actually on a tour. I was on a tour with him with Mike Denver and Ireland. But this is the first. Last year was the first time, I think, for years that both myself and Ray got together to do a tour on our own. We used to do a lot of tours in England and Scotland and around and all over Ireland. But this is the first time. Last year was the first time. So this year we're looking forward to another successful one. And as you say, we're starting off in Lisburn and Cookstown, Alma, Castle Blaney, Armagh and Donegal. We're all over the place in the north, Nardone, Enniskillen, Derry, Millennium and Derry, and in Ballymena. So we're all over the place.
And we've posted the schedule right here on the Radio Irish Facebook page. Now, your fans from all four corners of the globe are extremely close to you, Philomena, and you to them. You are active on Facebook, and we all enjoy your posts. If you were to address them all at once, what's the one thing you would say to all your fans around the world, Philomena?
Well, what I just would have to say would be a big thank you very much for all the support that they've given me over my last 54 years in the music business. I'll be celebrating my 54 now on the 11th of May. And, you know, for to be around for as long as I've been around, and I didn't retire at any stage, and I don't intend to retire. And hopefully I'll keep going on to whatever time the old body gives up.
Well, we hope you will, Philomena. We want to thank you for coming along and chatting with us here on Radio Irish today, and I want to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day, as I'm sure all your fans across the world do.
And same to you, everybody all around the world, as you say. But I've had a pleasure. Actually, I've been in New York a few times for St. Patrick's Day. In fact, I was there a couple of years ago. And I walked down the Fifth Avenue.
That's right. That's right. When are you coming back to New York?
I haven't any plans just at the moment now, but we're negotiating at the minute now. We might be, I don't know where we're going to. We've been asked a few times to different places, Philadelphia and Boston, but we haven't finalised them yet. But hopefully we'll be there sometime.
Oh, that's great news, Philomena. Philomena, I want to thank you for coming along and chatting with me today.
Not at all, John. A pleasure. All the best. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, Philomena. Bye.
From Bantry Bay to Boston Harbour, this is RadioIrish.com. Everywhere.
Come and look out through the window. That big old moon is shining down. Tell me now, don't it remind you of the blanket on the ground? Remember back when love first found us, and we'd go slipping out of town, and we'd look beneath the moonlight on the blanket on the ground. I'll get the blanket from the bedroom, and we'll go walking once again to that spot down by the river where our sweet love first began. Just because we are married don't mean we can slip around. So let's walk out through the moonlight and lay the blanket on the ground. Oh, remember how excited we used to get when love was young. Oh, that old moon was our best buddy. We couldn't wait for night to come. Now you know you still excite me. I know you love me like I am. Just once more I'd wish you'd love me on the blanket on the ground. I'll get the blanket from the bedroom, and we'll go walking once again to that spot down by the river where our sweet love first began. Just because